Are you a bitter baby daddy? Are you a bitter baby mom, a deadbeat, whatever the case may be? Let's talk about it.
Your mom's a bitch, your father's a bitch, whomever, and that's what the fuck it is. Let's stop skating around the subject.
The deadbeat dad got skills. See, he ain't got as much power, but he got skills.
Yeah, I don't watch some niggas get their asses whipped. I mean, but their baby mothers was living out Westport and trying to hit.
I can't.
I seen some shit. Like, no, listen, I done seen niggas get ranked the fuck off. And I'm like, nigga, fuck the child.
Which one? Yeah.
The toxic motherfucking president is always
Right.
And
so,
but they're my children. So when it comes to disrespect or belittling certain things, I'm not going to stand, whether it comes from their biological parents or not.
for folks out there, if you've ever said these things to your kids or ever heard these things from your kids, you know you either that person or you've been in contact, in communication, and entangled with that person. All right, welcome back to another episode of Date Night with Coach. So we're excited that, we changed the format a little bit and we got our co-hosts here with us, the Harveys, Eric and Sharice. And so today we're going to dive in a little bit. We're changing things up a little bit. As a clinician, we started out kind of, meeting with couples and really dealing with life and dealing with their relationships and stuff like that. At the end of the day, even in therapy, at some point you get past the surface and you start digging in and diving into the real, right? In my experience, oftentimes when you do that, you lose people. Because people in therapy don't want to really deal with the real. So we're going to dive in. So today, the focus is the impact of toxic exes on children and relationships.
Oh my God.
When we speak on toxic exes, are we talking about toxic baby brothers or we talking about toxic baby daddies?
We're gonna talk a little bit about. We're gonna talk about both. We're gonna talk about kind of what.
I ain't had to deal with the baby daddy side.
I hope
you know
not.
What I mean, no, I chose right. You know what I mean, I ain't had to deal with the niggas, but but the motherfucking baby mother side.
So I got you. So I'm gonna give you. First thing I want to do is just kind of share a little bit, just clinically, right? Because from my perspective of working with folks, and of course, obviously I can't negate my lived experience. Just some of the things that kind of come into play with, as you say, like, bitter baby mamas and, deadbeat daddy type of stuff, how they impact the kids, how they impact the relationship, what that kind of does to you. So I got a couple things that I have kind of couple conclusions that I've kind of come to, right? And I'm going to share that, then we're going to dive in and talk. So Coach is going to be here for these first couple minutes. Then I'm gonna revert back into Big Wayne from East Baltimore, and we're gonna just talk, right?
That's what the baby mothers do. They bring you back to motherfucking Big Wayne from East Baltimore.
So essentially, right, one of the things that I guess kind of want to bring out is when you think about the impact of an ex, right, that you have kids with on your relationship, on the family dynamic, on the kids. I've come to a couple conclusions, y'all. And I'm gonna use your words. So, bitter baby mamas, deadbeat dads, they got some superpowers, man. They got some special powers. So I'm gonna share these, right? First thing is, there's a certain level of entitlement, right? And even before I say that, everybody, when you go through a breakup, you go through challenges, you go through changes, everybody goes through a period, I believe, of bitterness, right? Everybody goes through a period of frustration, of anger. It could be a minute, it could be a week, it could be a year, whatever the case may be. But when that happens, when you get over it and you move on, that's the key. Sometimes people have a hard time with that.
It's hard to get
Bitterness is a fucking personality.
No, but
I like that.
Bitterness is a personality.
It's hard to get to that point though sometimes.
I
Because
gotta
sometimes
agree.
when you trying to heal, the motherfucker's still stabbing you in the same wound while you trying to heal. It's hard to deal with that shit.
Bitterness is a personality. Everybody don't start off bitter. Everybody don't end bitter. That shit is just who the fuck they were, even when they were in the relationship.
Oh no, that's true.
You were bitter,
You know
period.
when you meet him.
Because when shit is over, the shit is just over.
No.
And a different caliber chick, woman, man, whomever, move on. You know the cards that been played, and you move the fuck on. If you bitter and you sit in that shit, you was already sitting in that shit.
But see, that comes with emotional intelligence. Everybody don't possess that. So,
well, there you go.
A bitter motherfucker that showed you signs they was bitter from day one.
That's what I'm saying.
You know you dealing with a bitter motherfucker. They
That's
tell you
what I mean.
shit. They just do shit like this. We haven't broke up, but I don't know yet. But she do a lot of petty shit.
You gonna be
know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't saying that she is petty. I ain't seen that side of her yet. You get what I'm saying?
For the record, I am petty.
Right.
Let's make that clear.
So three things, right? For each of those people, right? So for the baby mom, right? I'm calling them powers, right? Because in my work professionally and in my lived experience, they strong, man. Mothers have power, man. Exactly.
I got homeboys that never gave a fuck. Right. And ain't nobody had no power with them niggas.
That's true.
So listen, Dwayne, I have to agree with that because in my mind, if you're a father that always shows up, it's only so much damage that a mother can do. When it comes to, let's say, my family, I had a mom that always told us what a grandmother, she was here, she was there, she wasn't whatever. You know what I mean? But when it came up to her showing up, she wasn't there. So in my mind, my mother was right.
Yeah.
But if you have a parent that's always consistent and showing up,
no doubt,
it's only so much damage that a mother can do.
I agree, but there are a couple nuances that I wanna share with you, right? So the powers of a I'm gonna say bitter baby mom, right? The key word is a master alienator. Right, a master alienator, and so they got
alienation. Like I'm just gonna give you an example. Like that's like saying say if I took my child to football practice every motherfucking day, and we was going to football, right, and all of a sudden this motherfucker take him out of football and say I'm gonna do it on my side, but now it's not my shit no more. Is that what you're talking about? Like
alienation is gonna be more making the kid, and I'm gonna give you these 3 points, right? So these 3 points is going to kind of sum that up, right? So the first one is they foster fear, discomfort, and loyalty bonds. And so the fear is, and so these are some of the things like, and again, for folks out there, if you've ever said these things to your kids or ever heard these things from your kids, you know you either that person or you've been in contact and communication and entangled with that person. So when your kid comes home when the kid come home from daddy, right? And daddy and his new family, as they try to say, right?
It's always the new fucking family.
So when your kids go with their grandparents, what do you say when they come home? Hey, did you have fun with grandma? Hey, did you have fun with grandma? Granddaddy, it was a good day.
But you know what? I don't ask none of that shit.
No, I'm just thinking about across the board, right?
No, I get it.
But when the kid comes home from with the father who's with a new woman and is starting a family, you know what they say? Did anything bad happen?
You talking from the female
Did that
perspective.
Right? We talking about the baby mom right now. The powers.
Right.
We're talking about. So we're talking about fostering discomfort. We're talking about fostering loyalty bonds. We're talking about that from that. And so when the kid come home and they say, "Did that woman say anything mean to you this week?" Or did anything negative happen? So those mindsets start to be embedded in that kid. So when they show up in their mind, they thinking, they expecting something bad to happen. They're not even going with an open mind into the environment. So that discomfort. Let me get through these points and then we're gonna dive in. So that is really what fostered that discomfort and that loyalty bonds and that fear. Because now your father is in a relationship with somebody else. That now threatens my position with you because now when they're together, they're giving you a different experience, right? So the next thing is, bitter baby mothers teach French, y'all. Y'all ain't know that? They teach French. Oh. So here's how they teach French. So when you talking to your kid about things that you want to do and things that you have available to them, oftentimes they start saying we. Hey, but we need this or we that. Who are the we?
Are you saying that this is the baby mother, not the child?
The child is saying we. Oh. What I'm saying is how that bitter baby mom now impacts that child, that now impacts your relationship, which impacts your family and that child's development. So when the child's saying we, they can't separate themselves from their mom because that loyalty bond and that discomfort and all that is flowing across the board. And so now what it's looking at is when I come to my kid and say, hey baby, what you need, blah, blah, blah. But we need this. Who the fuck is we? I took French in high school, but I ain't fluent in it.
That's the flag that she snapped on the situation.
That is the power.
Right. So
and
if
those
I'm
are
telling my child saying, and guess what? I need this, but I'm handing them the money for this, but it's going to that. It's we. You see what I'm saying? That's the relationship that you establish. But I mean, but like I said, but we as men, we still gotta take accountability to the women that we lay down with.
Oh no, absolutely. And that's that. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that as Big Wayne. I don't want to talk about that as Coach. Because as Coach,
that is hard to
yeah,
break.
yeah, exactly. So let me get through the.
Keep taking all them fucking shots of vodka all night long, and now she want to take chops. You should have knew that she was gonna take chops. That bitch was drinking too much vodka at the time when you met that bitch.
Let me get through Coach.
Oh, my bad.
But no, we good. But I don't.
Say mine was drinking like that when I met her. But
so here's the other power, right? The other power is they have the power to give their kids amnesia. They give kids amnesia.
You touching on some sensitive shit right there.
And so at the end of the day, this is where we at. At the end of the day,
A bitch got the power to get a nigga amnesia.
So here is where.
No, but they do got power. To get kids,
So when you got a kid that start telling you you ain't never did this or you ain't never did that or you wasn't here for that or you wasn't here for this, when you sitting there looking like, hold up, this don't make sense. Because Facebook memories don't lie. Facebook memories will take you back. I joined Facebook in 2009. Facebook memories don't lie. They take you back to all the events. They take you back to all the memories. They take you back to all everything that you've been a part of. And now this kid got amnesia because that bitter baby mom then gave it to him. And they telling you ain't never done this, that.
When you bust that bubble, no, it comes a time. I've been through.
So this is
she gonna speak on.
Okay, so this is the thing. You can say all of that, but when it comes to traumatic experience,
trauma, that's a big one.
The child should be able to remember what it was. So if, let's say, daddy didn't show up or mommy, like whatever the case may be.
Or if I left you in the rain crying, waiting on me for fucking 5 hours, you should remember what outfit you had on that I fucked up that was in the rain. Like, I would know everything. I done had Christmases when I ain't get shit. And I could tell my father, nigga, at 9:02, nigga, you told me to go to sleep. Santa was coming. Nigga, I came downstairs at 11:35. You still at the couch, nigga. No Santa there. Like, I remember this shit vividly. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna tell me, oh, I just heard that, you popped up one time and this would happen. And I ain't trying to hear that shit. But that happens. It happens all the time. You're touching on a sensitive subject.
It's life, man. We can. So again, a part of our trauma as a people and a part of our.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Yeah, come on.
Because it's like when you disprove them situations, you actually call in your child's other half a liar.
Absolutely.
So it's a delicate.
So here's the challenge with that, though. So the challenge with that is that kid at the onset of life and at the onset of a breakup, especially, they recognize that they're part you and they're part the other parent. So anything negative about you, anything negative about the other parent, is a reflection on them. And so we play a vital role in trying to walk on eggshells to make sure that no matter what, we give them the truth, but don't let that part about that other parent bring light to make them feel negative. Because no matter what, anything negative is going to resonate with them.
Well,
no, I mean,
I disagree with that. Because I disagree with not bringing light to it. Because if you got a mother or father that's fucked up, they just fucked up. When you not bringing light to it and you try and skate around, and then again, you give the bitter parent the fucking power. You give them the power because your ass ain't gonna call it out. So now you giving them the power, and now the kid is skating and thinking that everybody is harmonious. No, everybody ain't harmonious. Your mom's a bitch, your father's a bitch, whomever, and that's what the fuck it is. Let's stop skating around the subject. And if your mother or your father is whomever, and if you connect with that shit, then hey, it's your choice to either change that shit or you gonna be that shit.
But my question is,
what the fuck is we doing?
The moment I feel like is a father, right? I got stories that I would never tell. That's truth. Right. Now, that's just me as a person. That's not my loyalty to the situation, but it's just me as my loyalty to myself. But the fact that the moment that I start doing the slandering, mine could be based off of truth. Your shit could be based off of lies. I can tell the truth. Yeah. But at the same extent, I'm lowering myself down to your level. So now I become the bitter parent.
But I gotta give you one. Activity. I had a good, So I had a good friend tell me one time, you're doing the wrong thing by not sharing your side of the story. We're gonna come back to that as Big Wayne. I'm still coach right now. Give me a couple more seconds, and I got a couple more seconds. So we talked about the powers of the mom, but the deadbeat dad got skills. See, he ain't got as much power, but he got skills. So his skills, he's a master at deflecting, right? And so one of those skills is he's definitely number one gonna blame the mother. Whatever the case may be, your mother did this, your mother said that, it's your mother's fault. I ain't come pick you up because your mother did this, it's your mother's fault.
No, but some niggas get their asses whipped by their baby mothers. I don't watch some niggas get their asses whipped. I mean, but their baby mothers was living out Westport and Charlie Hill.
I can't.
I seen some shit. Like, no, listen, I done seen niggas get ranked the fuck off. And I'm like, nigga, fuck the child. Like, you can't take this type of ass whipping for 18 years. This shit's some bullshit. Like some real shit. Walk the fuck away. Pay child support. Do what you gotta do. Nobody deserve an ass whipping for 18 years.
Yeah.
Fucking Toby didn't take ass whipping for 18 years. I don't know how long he was a slave, but nigga ain't gonna last for 18 years.
He cut his foot off though.
Right, but he ain't last for 18 years for that motherfucking torture. Fuck.
And so the next thing is, what they do is, unfortunately, directly, they blame the child. Or they guilt trip the child.
Well, even you looking like you're a fucking parent. I used to go through that shit because I look like my daddy. I ain't eat some nights because I look like my fucking
I
father.
cannot. I can't.
I don't know if you look like your daddy.
I look better than that nigga, but I'm saying, but
And so here's the last skill of the deadbeat dad. And I think this is probably this magic. Because again, I told you guys the deadbeat mom, the bitter baby mom had magic, right? She teaches the kid to amnesia, gives the kid amnesia. Deadbeat dad they can disappear. That's magic. They can disappear.
but it's beauty in that.
Well,
That part.
And so that's
from the other.
Hold on.
The
No doubt.
Nigga, please.
No doubt.
That part.
So I'm give me 30 more seconds, y'all.
I want to make an absentee father. How many women that had kids before me? I want to piss him off so he don't even be in his child's life. I want him to be gone.
So let me give you this. And so I'm a go. Give me 30 seconds. I'm
Not that you want the baby daddies out there. I'm sorry, but I mean, I just feel the way I feel. Hey, it is what it is. I want you to fuck out the picture. I don't want you to be calling anytime you fucking feel like it. I pay the fucking bills around this bitch.
I'm gonna slide out of coach mode in a second. So here's the thing, right? When you look at it, right, it's kind of like, you know, and this topic I wanted to bring because real talk. You know, this is something that me and my wife we've had some challenges with, in terms of the impact, right, of
I think challenge is a nice word.
Well, that's the word I'm gonna use. In terms of the impact of that absent father, and the impact of that bitter baby mom, right? But it comes twofold, because your perspective has to be a couple things. Thinking about it from the perspective of how it impacts the child, thinking about how it impacts the relationship in the home and the family, but then you as an individual, right? How that impacts you with tunnel vision, just you, nobody else, right? And I think that's where our struggle comes, because when we have those moments of kind of looking at when things happen, let me just say that when things happen, we and I ain't gonna say that. Oftentimes we and I'm gonna just be real big. I'm shifting. Coach is gone. All right. This Big Wayne right here, East Baltimore, right? When we have challenges, is oftentimes we having a conversation about somebody else. You know, we have, you know, people in our lives that kind of have similar situations, and what I believe takes place is we get caught up in our own guilt and our own issues of the choice that we proclaim as, we see as a bad, quote unquote, a bad choice, and how it's now impacting us. And what we end up doing is we end up defending our choice to be with that person and produce offspring. And now it sounds like to the other person that we're defending that person, if that makes sense. And so now
it's political right now.
No. So let me just say it like this. Let me say it like this. All right, well, let me halve it up. Let me halve it up a little bit. Let me halve it up a little bit, right? Let me halve it up a little bit. So basically, if we beefing, right, and we having a conversation about something that something that happened with my baby mother or her baby father, right? And now we debating about which situation is a bigger impact on our lives, so to speak, right?
The current situation.
Right?
Okay.
And so as we're having that conversation, what happens is we start debating about which situation is worse, right? When at the end of the day, and oftentimes this is how the conversation is.
Tell them the situation though, because it's very specific. We talk about
a lot of
absent or
different
present. That's what we fuss about.
And so
an absent parent or a present parent fucking our life up day to day.
I got you. So
disappear or stay here and fuck everything up day to day.
So a deadbeat. So again, a deadbeat dad absent, a toxic baby mom ever present, right? And so the reality is,
so you saying like what's
which
worse?
one? Yeah.
The toxic motherfucker president is always worse than the absentee.
And so right, but I got it.
But even what you said in the beginning, it's the impact on the child.
Well, but here's what I
because you get to see the impact on the child because of the absentee parent.
So here's the part that I need
it won't be on us though.
Here's the part.
The child.
But here's the part that I think
child fucks us over.
Here is the part that I think we lose. Here's the part that I think we lose. As a woman, the struggle with another woman impacting things that are taking place in your day-to-day life with the kids, with finances, child support, all that kind of stuff, right? Right? That becomes an issue. As a man who has to fight to care for his kids, but has the free will to care for kids that aren't biologically his, but also has to bear the burden of what's not being done by that other parent.
So I think it
becomes, and hold on. So my point is, I think we lose a lot when we focus on what's worse. Because at the end of the day, neither of them should occur. They're happening. How do you now come on one accord and focus on making it happen without quantifying which situation is worse? Because bad is bad.
No, but understand this. You can't have you can't have a pinpoint on what's worse or what's bad, because at the end of the day, when you put the certain situations that's in, like the impact that it has on the child. As a father, right, my impact is always going to be different from the mother's perspective. Because as a father, right, I can still say, guess what? All right, he's an absentee father, fuck him, and I'm handling everything, but the connection to the child that I'm doing this for might not be there. So I'm only speaking from a perfect perspective. Out of sight, out of mind. But that don't mean that that child won't have it out of sight, out of mind. So that's an aspect that the father might got to go through with that situation opposed to the mother.
So listen, in my mind, my thing is, I have my two children. One biologically I birthed, the other one I didn't, but they're my children. So when it comes to disrespect or belittling certain things, I'm not going to stand, whether it comes from their biological parents or not. I'm the mama bear. So when it comes to this, it's like, oh, you feel like you can put my child down? I'm coming for you. Whether it's the biological child or the not. Like, that's just where I'm at with that. My children are my children. And my thing is, my husband point blank period, I'm coming for him and anybody. I don't give a fuck. And I'm just being honest with you. He knows that's what I am. And sometimes, like, he accepts it as what it is, but it don't matter if it comes from the mom, the grandmom, the aunt, the uncle. I'm here. What's up? And that's how I honestly feel. With both of my children, I'm going to rock for them and whatever they want to do, regardless. That's who I am.
And I believe it.
That's who I am.
Because I ain't saying that I'm trying to be on some pimp shit or no shit like that. But I had two motherfuckers that was pregnant. They about to fight each other like that one time. Like, both of them pregnant at a birthday party.
Well, you know, that sounds really good and nice. But what happens when the bitter mother or the bitter father prevents that relationship from occurring? Because you can't ride for a child that you never developed a relationship for. You can't ride for a child that becomes disrespectful.
But that is where I go back to the power.
The parent that's saying, like, I'm sabotaging the situation before it can develop. Like, that's basically saying, I'm trying to understand where she's coming from. No. So I'm saying it's like...
Well, we just piggybacking off bitterness, because bitterness manifests in many ways.
So what she's saying is this, real quick, right to the point of when I spoke on the powers of that mom.
Right.
Right? You create discomfort, fear, and a loyalty bond. A loyalty bond
within the kids.
Right. So that kid. So real quick. So a mother, if all it takes is that mother to say that ain't your mother.
That's what it's going to
The
go.
stepmom or whoever is done.
Nigga, your baby mother could say abracadabra. It didn't happen.
It's done.
And the child will look at you like it didn't happen. You gotta physically tell them some
It's
shit
done.
where it's like they gotta realize like, hold up, like.
So let me
makes
tell
sense.
you something. My children, that's what it is. I got 2 kids and I'm riding for them wholeheartedly. What the fuck is up? And both my kids know that. I'm riding. I don't give a fuck if it's with the biological parent, all that.
And so that's a blessing, right?
My kids.
And no doubt,
Because
that's
you're able to
it's a
develop
blessing.
there.
That's
It's a
who I
blessing.
am.
It's a blessing to be able to develop and establish that. And so this is actually a conversation for another topic that we're gonna talk about. But it's a huge difference, and it's a huge it's an imbalance, let me say, as it relates to a woman integrating into the lives of kids versus a man.
So listen, I understand that.
And that's a whole nother
In my
conversation. We
mind,
coming back with that.
It's not no imbalance because my
No, it
two
ain't
know
imbalance.
I'm riding.
No, because you're the mother.
Riding.
We're not right. But
My
what I'm
kids-
First of all, it's always
Listen.
an imbalance. Let's keep it 100.
They
Now
know.
look,
They
and
know.
it might not go in most motherfuckers' favors. What I'm gonna say the imbalance is, women hold on to that shit more than men do. A man ain't gonna be like, you a sucker ass
Well-
nigga that you went by my business because I got the chick that you fucked
well,
over.
again,
Like
well,
you wanna
again.
come at me about the chick you fucked
So-
over.
so, E,
but women don't hold on to no shit
And
like that.
so that's my thing. With
You
men,
can fuck over a woman and
So-
she still gonna hold you accountable with the next chick.
well, and again, I guess my perspective on that is this: with a man, with a quote unquote a bitter baby daddy or a deadbeat. Well,
See, I ain't never experienced it, so I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say
advised.
right.
That's a
So
big
what's gonna
thing,
happen?
shit, like
Right,
a
but
bitter
so what's
baby
gonna
daddy,
happen?
that would make
Listen,
sense.
it's life though,
Bitter
bro.
baby
People
daddy.
are people.
Listen to how that shit
Listen,
sound.
listen.
A bitter baby daddy usually is absent.
Bitter baby daddy.
Right.
Don't even know he
No,
bitter.
but I'm saying, but for a man to be bitter,
Yeah.
meaning that, like, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want to do. What are you
Right.
bitter about? The chance is the least. And guess what? If I was a baby daddy, it's always the chance I can still fuck my baby mother. So how the fuck am I going to be bitter about? You know what I'm saying? That's just a different type of individual.
What?
Listen.
In my mind, I'm not playing with
What?
my babies. I got 2 babies and I'm not playing with them. I don't give a fuck if it comes to biological mother, grandmother, father.
She ain't got a baby daddy, though.
Listen, if they
Right.
belittle my children, it's a problem. And this nigga know it's a problem.
We ain't
That's
talking about
all
belittling,
I'm
we talking about
saying.
bitter.
Like my
Right.
thing is,
So,
you're not gonna
but-
belittle my
but-
children.
Right.
You're not.
And
And,
so-
I stand firm on that.
I've never been
Right. No, I
baby
get that.
daddy.
I
I
get
did.
that piece.
I
And so the
did.
challenge is though, when belittling is one thing, but creating an environment where the kid feels like they can't
They gotta
embrace,
pick and choose.
where they can't embrace this person or this family
Right.
or this environment. And so
Based
my
off
point
of
being,
God's energy.
what I
That's
see and
some
what I
female
believe.
shit.
So
Niggas
with
don't
a
do
man, here's the thing. With a man, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be real ugly, real ugly, or he gonna disappear.
No, but you gotta understand, like as us being men, we egotistical.
That's why it's gonna be ugly, or he
it
gonna
don't- it don't
disappear.
have to be ego- That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about back in the
You know what I'm
day.
saying? It's
Hold
my
on.
kids.
I have a cousin who was
Going to
murdered
another
over a woman.
situation.
People
No, I
get killed
understand that,
over
but
women.
I'm saying,
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying this being from the father perspective. My ego is involved where I don't think no nigga can take any.
But you
damn
do know,
opinion
you do
about me.
know,
You get what I'm saying?
but
So-
you do
so
know as a
that's the
man,
difference.
but deadbeat or bitter baby
No, you're
father,
a deadbeat.
it ain't
It's
about, hold on,
different.
the bitter baby father, it's never about the kid.
It's not.
It ain't about the
See, I
kid.
can't-
If the
listen.
bitter baby mom, it's not about the
I
kid.
get it, but
It's
I-
about the other person.
I gotta
You haven't moved on from
myself with those type of
You
bitch-ass
haven't.
niggas. I
You
don't
have, but no, I'm
understand
talking
that.
even the women.
No, I'm
you
just saying I
haven't.
don't understand that.
That
That's
person-
It's alien.
That
to me.
person hasn't moved on from the failed relationship,
Right,
right?
But that's
Right.
not a natural ability that's supposed to be in a man.
I don't even know if it's about the failed relationship
It's a
though.
discipline.
Because what I said is no. Because what I said is you're bitter in the current relationship because
That's
that
just a
is a
personality. That's who you are.
characteristic
Right.
and a personality. So bitter does not necessarily
right, 'cause you
mean
gonna be
that I have
bitter
not
about
moved on from the
right,
relationship.
right.
Bitter
That's a
means
bitter
that's just my
motherfucker.
fucking
Right,
personality,
right,
and no
right.
matter what you do or what I got going on, I'm a bitter bitch
bitter,
or I'm a
right.
bitter
No matter
nigga.
who you with.
It don't matter. It don't matter where the fuck I am or where you at. It has nothing to do with you.
End up alone sooner or later. You're gonna run out of space.
No, the bitter motherfucker is already alone.
Right. So it is what it is. Right.
Even in a room full of people.
No, I mean, in a room full of people, the bitter motherfucker ain't gonna do nothing but come across as bitter. Any opportunity that comes for them to become or show the bitterness, because understand this about people, right? We can sit here all day, right? And happiness we can keep inside. We can sit here to ourselves and be in the room and just be happy and just smile. And people like, what the fuck is you so fucking happy about? But bitterness and hate, something that people cannot keep in within themselves. They gotta project that.
No, because bitterness and hate, you want motherfuckers to be bitter and...
So hold on.
He's accurate with that, but in my mind, my thing is, you ought to control who you are. So I say all that to say, listen, my kids, here, I'm going to protect them how I choose to protect them. My man say that I'm crazy, but listen, if it comes to anybody that try to disrespect them, what's up to me? You understand?
Well, look, disclosure.
That's how I feel.
Listen, nobody fuck with her kids. Because if you fuck with her kids, your ass gonna die.
Your ass is grass.
Right. Now, like, we already...
But what happens, again, when the kid never develops that relationship and ain't fucking with you the way you fucking with the kid? Then what?
So let's think about, let's look at these. So hold on. So hold on, no. Let's look
I feel like, if hold on. I feel like if my relationship with my child, like, is deteriorated by somebody that didn't have that with them, then I mean it's a dispel between us two. It's a disconnect between my child that they let somebody come in through and draw a narrative between us.
But E, that's hard to say though. No. But so here's the challenge though, all right? And again, I'm gonna revert back to coach real quick. When you're dealing with a kid, their first teacher is their parent, and most of the time their mother. Right? And so when you are being taught certain things, you get to a place when you talk about accountability. When you get to the age of accountability, you have mindsets that you don't even realize that have been embedded in you, right? And so you're held accountable for stuff. And again, at that point, it's you. So you need to be held accountable. But unfortunately, in most cases, when you have a mom or dad who's influential, who's an N-word, and I ain't talking about nigga, who's the N-word narcissist.
Oh. You know what? I got triggers because I'm considered a nagger, so they got my
I cannot.
And so that person who, and so these traits that I just described, when I talk about fostering fear, discomfort, loyalty bonds, teaching French, making it about them instead of just the kid, and then giving the kids amnesia, making the kid feel like that other parent ain't do whatever the case may be, and then blaming the mom, projecting on the kid. And disappearing. All that is about the person. It ain't about the kid. People people tend to say I'm fighting for my kid, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you have a kid who you gotta hold accountable for something, oftentimes at the age where you're holding them accountable, they got a mindset that they develop and they don't even understand the root of that shit. They don't know where that came from. You know what I'm saying?
But see, now you're getting that to me it's like now that's too deep in the game. That to me that draws down to the lines of being asked to teach. I was a weekend father. I took offense to that shit. I got around motherfucking women that told me I wasn't shit. Like, nigga, you a weekend daddy. And I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? You ain't your father. Your baby daddy ain't even in your life, and you gonna call me a weekend daddy?
I'm going back to fifth. I'm gonna go back to fifth grade and raise my hand, bro. I was an everyday father.
That's why your bitter bitch was able to fucking control the situation.
No, I'm saying I'm an everyday father now. I was a weekend daddy.
No. My point being,
you know what I'm saying?
the idea and the connotation behind the alienation don't matter if you're there every weekend, or it don't matter if you're there every day.
All right, so we agree. So the fact that I was a weekend daddy, I'm saying somebody told me, like, don't get me wrong.
It don't matter.
I know. No, it's definitely a difference between a weekend daddy and a father that's there from day one, and this child ain't missed the day in their life.
Absolutely.
But even as a weekend father, you still can't be slandered if you sacrificed your weekends.
You can.
You get what I'm saying?
No.
You can be slandered, you can sacrifice your whole fucking life and be slandered.
Listen.
Slander don't have shit to do with your sacrifice.
The idea of slander, hold on. The idea of slander is not the truth.
Right.
Yes.
And so somebody, if somebody, hold on, if that other parent has influence over that child,
It
They
don't
can
matter
tell
what
him
it
whatever.
is.
Hold on.
But
They
that's
can
the
make the
attempt.
kid.
That's the
They can
attempt of
make
being slandered.
They can make the kid question their own reality
They can.
based off of what they tell them.
Right. But
That's the reality.
But that's the attempt. That's the attempt of being slandered. Now, if I was a weekend father and I know goddamn well these weekends transpired, I got records. You get what I'm
The
saying?
shit don't matter.
No.
The truth does not matter, bro.
It depends on.
Well, again, we're not. Let's be clear, because I think what's getting lost is every bitter bitch is not equal.
That's true.
There's levels to bitter.
Yo, it is.
There's a bitter bitch that just want to make your life hell, but ain't really trying to fuck you up because she needs you to come on your weekend to get her kid. Then there's bitches that want to fuck your whole existence up and want you to never see her kid again.
All right, but let's
So there's levels to
let's
bitter.
talk about, all right,
There's
all right,
levels to
I
this
don't mean
shit.
to throw niggas under the bus, but we gonna talk about the reason behind these levels. See, it's
Oh my God.
it's baby
I
daddies
cannot.
out.
I
It's
fucking
baby
can't.
daddies out here that still dib and dab and fuck their baby mother, so they deal with the worst shit. You know what I'm saying? The niggas that
You
still
said deadbeat dads. How can you be a deadbeat dad and still be able to fuck the
talking-
baby mother that you're a deadbeat dad
Because the
to?
only time that he's fucking being a deadbeat is when he beating the pussy.
I cannot. Get the
He ain't taking
fuck.
care of the child.
That's
Their
dumb.
relationship.
That's fucking dumb.
No, but it becomes toxic. So when he decides
Becomes
that he ain't
toxic.
that ass no more, guess what happened? Now the child comes in play. Now you ain't shit for as a father. I wasn't shit as a father when I was fucking you and just leaving in the middle of the night. But because I stopped fucking you, now you were projected to the world that I ain't a fucking good father. But I'm just saying, that's one aspect.
Oh,
Yeah,
Then you
that's
got the
different.
fathers that say, okay, it's a separation. But you got some men that's controlled by the baby mothers. Like, okay, long as you can do what you want to do, but then you're going to be influenced on my situation. But you can go fucking do whatever the fuck you want to do, but when it comes to my shit, you're going to become a problem.
Well-
Even though I'm a weekend daddy, you still want to be on my bullshit. You get what I'm saying? But throughout the week, you can fuck us up.
But here's the thing, though. Ultimately, right?
I'm confused.
I mean, that's some real hood shit. I ain't gonna front. But that's some real hood shit. But no, there are situations, and I guess I'll give you this perspective, right?
I mean, the bitterness got to come from somewhere.
Bitter is bitter.
No, I'm saying, but
Right.
it's levels
So
of bitterness.
listen.
You
And
just
so,
said that.
but here's the
fucking
thing.
them,
Listen.
So,
You still
but
fucking
my
them and
point
them
being,
be
go
there.
ahead, baby.
I get all that, but my thing is, let's just point in my situation.
Nobody fuck with her
Listen.
kids.
Right.
Touch her fucking kids.
Listen, I'm already farming. Don't fuck with my babies. But my
Right.
thing is, I've always been there. So when it comes to a point where my babies believe that I haven't always been there, that's a problem for me.
Well,
So how you prove
Because
that?
Well, but the
it's
thing-
like,
and
I've
so-
been there.
so here's the thing,
You know
though.
what I mean?
So ultimately, right? There's a point in time where you gotta understand that your truth is what it is.
It is.
And so when you talk about the power of that, again, alienation and that N-word, narcissism and all that stuff, you know, people who have an agenda, people who have I guess have it out, you know, to make your life hell or to create a problem, they're gonna do what they gotta do. And as she said, it's levels, right? But the levels come in, and some people are a little more savvy than others. Some people are a little more emotionally driven than others, right? And so it may be, okay, so if a dude is still dipping and dabbing with his baby mother, he brought that on himself. He brought that on himself, right? But you got some people that genuinely moved on.
I mean, some niggas got.
And their wives ask them the question sometimes, what, you still fucking this bitch?
Or go back to the bitch.
All right,
Because she's so fucking bitter, y'all might as well be the fuck together.
But hey, I'm about to say, some niggas got weak dick. They don't give a
I
fuck.
cannot.
It is what it is.
What
My
the fuck?
point, and I say that to say,
But that comes with women. Because, look, when women get the next nigga, your life become easier.
not necessarily.
Excuse me.
Depending on
No,
the levels,
no,
right?
sorry. Sir, it is levels to the bitter
I'm
bitch.
praying for that
Hold on,
marriage.
stop.
I'm like, please
Hold on.
stay together. Please.
Hold on,
Don't break
hold
the
on.
fuck
Nah,
up.
boo.
It depends.
Nah, boo.
Because here's the thing, right?
Well, then they weren't
And,
happy with the food the fuck they was with.
Well, I gotta just say
They
this.
was stuck on your ass.
I'm a humble
You
dude,
ain't
right?
happy
Hold
with
on,
the
hold on.
fool because he's your fucking baby father. So as long as you got a connection to another nigga, you gonna be a bitter bitch with that nigga.
But she could
That's
be
the
just
problem.
dating from another nigga.
I'm a
So,
humble
like,
dude.
Once you get married,
Hey,
like,
I'm a humble dude, right? But here's what I'm gonna say, right? In a situation like that, you're never gonna be happy. Cause you ain't never gonna have a me.
oh, you say I'm narcissistic right now.
For a moment, I'll take that.
Right.
I'll take that. right? But so here's what we're gonna do right here. This is a great point. So here's the thing. Hey, y'all, guess what? Next week, we going live. It's gonna be one of us or all four of us. We going live. We gonna continue this conversation. You can go on and go in the comments, add a video. Let's continue this conversation. Are you a bitter baby daddy? Are you a bitter baby mom? A deadbeat? Whatever the case may be. Let's talk about it. All right, but I want to hear your opinions. All right, date night with Coach, man. We going hard in here.
We gonna stay on this end.